A psalm commonly heard at Jewish funerals was chanted at a Washington synagogue in a remembrance ceremony for the Paris attacks. French Ambassador Gérard Darroch said it's no coincidence that journalists and Jews were both targeted.
When you attack democracy, when you attack enlightenment, when you attack pluralism, unfortunately the first victims are very often journalists and Jews.
The terrorist attacks have left American Jews seriously worried about anti-Semitism in Europe, while also highlighting the different way America thinks about free speech. The murders, which also killed a Muslim policeman, have triggered a vigorous debate in which many European Muslims want a ban on cartoons that mock Muhammad.
Good luck.
David Friedman of the Anti-Defamation League works with American law enforcement agencies on anti-Semitism. But he doesn't want a law against anti-Semitism like the one in France.
We think that, as a rule, expression is something that is enriching us as a society, even when it's ugly expressions.
Still, Friedman says just because people may have the right to offend Muslims doesn't mean they should do it.
In a world in which people's sensitivities are very great, rubbing salt in their wounds or rubbing their nose in that we can do this is not necessarily helping us to be a more kind, compassionate, understanding world.
Public officials have an obligation to denounce intolerance.
Haris Tareen of the Muslim Public Affairs Council says campaigns against Islamophobia have persuaded American journalists that images like those that appeared in France are offensive.
Although we don't have any laws that prohibit newspapers from reprinting the cartoons, we've seen in the past that when the cartoons were published in Europe, American newspapers did not publish those cartoons.
He says laws against insulting Islam do not work.
In places like Pakistan, in Indonesia, in Egypt, when we have government which has laws against blasphemy, it's used for political reasons generally. It's used against minority groups. It's used against people who don't have the power and who are not the majority.
As the victims of hatred are remembered and the threat is felt even here, the hope on both sides of the Atlantic lives on that faith and freedom of expression are not mutually exclusive. Jerome Sokolovsky, VOA News, Washington.